I'm your host, Jeff Sart. We're going to take you behind the scenes with the craft distillers who are pouring their heart and soul into crafting the next version of America's spirit. This is the Great American Whiskey Cookers. When Cedar Ridge came out with their flagship bourbon, it was at 80 proof. They have since moved that proof point up to 86 proof. We sit down with Murphy Quint of Cedar Ridge Distillery for a discussion on just exactly why they moved up to that 86 proof point on their flagship bourbon. Check it out.
I remember when you guys came out with this a number of years ago, and it came out at 80 proof.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, a friend of mine stopped over and gave me this. You notice it's bottle number 88, barrel number 160.
Yep.
So this goes back a ways.
It does.
Right? And this is 80 proof. Whereas this one, well, your flagship bourbon now is 86 proof.
Yep.
So my question is, why the move from 80 proof to 86?
Well, I'll have my own answer on that. I don't know if you wanna chime in. I mean, maybe we'll even have slightly different answers, but I'll let you go.
Want me to go first? Well, first of all, did your friend bring the shirt with him too?
No. But here's the thing about this, right? About the shirt. So I had another friend out this past weekend, and I was tasting him through a number of whiskeys, and I said, "Hey, we're going to Cedar Ridge.
Yeah.
We're filming there, on Monday." And he said, "Cedar Ridge bourbon. That's what brought me to whiskey."
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's the whiskey that brought him, and now he's a huge whiskey drinker, right?
Yeah.
We taste a whole bunch of different stuff, but so I, of course,
That's huddled in for sure. That's
yeah.
good to
I
hear.
broke out this bottle. He goes, "That's the bottle. That's the one. That's the one that he remembers." Yeah.
And I think, one thing that makes me really happy is that I think we've had that impact on a lot of Iowans. I think Cedar Ridge bourbon in particular has brought a lot of Iowans to the whiskey category in general. And it was that 80 proof bourbon that we really started with. So we do have the number one selling bourbon in the state of Iowa.
And that's above Jim Beam.
That's right.
Above Jack Daniels. Yeah. You name it.
Well, in 40
Buffalo Trace, but
Buffalo Trace, no big deal. In 49 states, Kentucky bourbon is going to be at the top of the charts. In the state of Iowa, Cedar Ridge is at the top, and that's something that we really love, and we've had a lot of support from Iowans. But going from that 80 to 86, I mean, there's a couple different reasons why. I mean, personally, as a production guy, as someone who's always producing whiskey that is shooting and aiming to be flavorful and stuff like that, I'm always wanting to go higher proof when possible because I want to give someone maximum flavor, and then if they want to dilute it down, more power to them. They can take it to the proof they want by adding some water. So I'm always wanting to go higher proof when I can. However, you can't always just take a product from 80 proof to 120. That there's a lot to consider. There are price points, costs, things like that. So you can't always do that. That's why we've released other products along the way. But going from 80 to 86, I'd say, like I said, there's a bunch of reasons, but the main one would just be consumer trends. I mean, the market has really moved away from 80 proof whiskey. There's a couple out there, but a lot of people don't want to take a chance on something that's 80 proof anymore. 86 is usually going to be kind of the new floor. So we've got that going. We've got our 86, and we've got the 116 to kind of give people the full range, and they can explore between them.
And then you have so what your answer on
yeah,
86?
no, thanks, Jeff. I think it just tastes better. I know that's simple, but like it just tastes better. It
gives you a better mouthfeel. It's
balanced. I think it's just a little bit more flavor than the 80, right? And the trends are part of it. But we really hone in a lot. Us and the marketing team and the rest of the exec team, we really try to hone in on like who we're talking to, who's buying it, who's our customer, right? And obviously we sell a lot in Iowa. Like Murphy said, we're the number one bourbon in Iowa, and that means a lot to us. And we're humbled and honored for all the loyal support and all the fellow Iowans that are living here and the ones that have moved away, right? Because us Iowans get crazy about stuff from Iowa, but it speaks to that consumer. It's easy drinking. It's your Tuesday weeknight bourbon that if you accidentally put down a bottle with your neighbor, oops. I mean, it's not like it's tastes better.
Yeah.
I mean,
And to Jamie's point, six proof points goes a long way. I mean, it seems so small, like going from 80 to 86. 6 proof points can change a lot. I mean, 1 or 2 proof points can change a lot. So it was fairly significant. But if you can pull that bottle back up for a second, I mean,
I can. Yeah.
One thing, I mean,
notice there's not a lot left of it.
Yeah, which is good. That's what we want. No, but I mean, at some point, it was kind of time to change the label in general. I mean, that was when that was the product we originally came out with. We were still fairly small, fairly new. The industry was new.
Yeah.
We weren't even called a craft distillery back then. We were a micro distillery. Craft distilleries weren't even really a thing back then. So it was time to evolve the package. It was a time to evolve the product. And at one point when we decided to make all those changes, we decided that the whiskey's better at 86 than 80. Let's just do that along with our label modification.
And what's the age of your bourbon, your whiskey?
So our bourbon is going to be a minimum of 3 years old.
Okay.
And we've got a few different offerings. Obviously, you get to the barrel proof, that's usually going to be a minimum of 4 years old, and we go up from there. But everything that we offer is going to be a minimum of 3.